What is going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope you're all doing well. Jonathan, let's give my Prime Minister valuable intel. Okay. Um, Congratulations to Carlos Rodon. If you haven't heard, he just made the All-Star team. Looks like he's going to be replacing Max Fried. Max Fried's pitching tomorrow, so I'm not surprised that he's backing out. He also wants to be healthy for the second half of the season. Carlos Rodon gets an extra day because he's pitching today, so it kind of makes sense. And again, this would be a good accomplishment for Carlos Rodon. And remember, Aaron Boone and Dave Roberts are going to be the managers for the All-Star team. The World Series participants from last year are the managers in this year's All-Star game. So it's Boone's managing the American League, Dave Roberts managing the National League. So, but in the meantime, the draft is coming up in a couple days, right? And I want to give you the latest of what I'm hearing about who's tied to the Yankees. Okay, and we profiled a couple guys several weeks ago. There was a couple corner infielders being linked to the Yankees and collegiate infielders. Well, there's now some arms being connected to the Yankees. So I'm going to pull up this article here. Okay, pull it right up on the screen. Okay, now Yankees linked to power arms in recent mock drafts. Okay, this is from Dan Kelly. Now let's read this. The MLB draft is less than a week away, and mock drafts are starting to zero in on the types of players who have captured the various teams' interest. The Yankees' luxury tax levels then pushed back to the 39th overall pick, which is in the compensatory area. So fans will have to wait well into the evening on Sunday for the team's first pick. Even if the wait on day one of the draft, recent mocks have the Yankees looked, with some very interesting prospects who fit with the most recent organizational direction. Okay. And I've been talking to Jonathan about this quite a bit recently, too. So thank you for your contributions, Jonathan. He's become a very valuable member of the 161 family. He is now a made guy. You got your button, bro. You really got your button. So members of Baseball America staff will say that the Draft 3.0 is not a traditional mock draft, but when four of the most knowledgeable people in the media sit down to pick players, it should provide a good idea of who could be available for the Yankees. Carlos Collazo was in line to pick the Yankees, and he selected Landon Harmon, a right-handed pitcher from East Union High School in Blue Springs, Mississippi. Harmon is ranked 48th by MajorLeagueBaseball.com and 66th by Major Baseball America in their prospective P-Draft rankings. As you can see here, he ramps it up to about 95 to 98. The averages there settles in 93, 94. Okay, flashing a nasty 84 and 86 off-speed pitch too. Huge projection and arm talent. He's 6'5", 188 pounds, so he's a big boy. If you put on some size to that body, being a 6'5", I think that's the size of Cam Schlittler. See that downward sloping release point from fastballs, and you throw the ball that hard, you're gonna be pretty tough to hit. So 6'5", 190-pound righty is one of the best fastballs in the draft, having already touched 99 miles per hour. They like power arms, as you know this. Harmon routinely sits at 93, 96 with solid control. Scouts see room for more consistent high-end velocities as he continues to fill out his frame. You add 20 pounds of muscle to that body. Different machine right there. The biggest improvement will have to come from the 18-year-old's changeup, as he's yet to show his consistent pitch will play at the next levels. It will likely take a solid signing bonus to land Harmon, as he is committed to Mississippi State University. Okay. Now, Baseball America recently ran their more traditional mock draft 5.0 that the Yankees had taken Aaron Watson, a righty arm from Trinity Christian Academy in Jacksonville, Florida. Okay, another high school pitcher. Watson is ranked 45th by MLB.com and 64th by Baseball America. Okay, much of Watson's scouting will read like Harmon's above. He's 6'5", weighs 205 pounds, and he's 18. Another big boy. He has a very strong fastball, topping out at 96 miles an hour, sits in the low 90s through his outings. Scouts see a frame that can add muscle, allowing Watson to reach a higher peak and maintain his velocity longer into outings. Okay. And then you have here Josh Norris posting, today's the first day of the National High School Invitational in Cary, North Carolina. Here's a fun video made of Corona High School shortstop Billy Carlson. I have a feeling the Yankees are probably going to avoid high school shortstops. And here's some footage of Aaron Watson. I'm going to link this article down below so you could check out the footage yourself. Okay. But I encourage you to take a look. But it looks like the Yankees are really tied to arms here. And it's no surprise, like it'll give you a good idea. If they draft arms, then they're probably more willing to part with some arms in a trade near the trade deadline. If they draft bats at the high level, they're more willing to probably part with some bats heading into the trade deadline. So, and again, keep in mind too, don't be surprised if they move guys that are fringe 40-man roster people, right? To get them out of protection from the Rule 5. Guys that they're not sure who to protect from Rule 5 are guys that they're going to probably be more likely trying to trade. Okay? We'll have some big names like Spencer Jones and a few others to protect from the Rule 5 draft this offseason. DJ is creating a 40-man roster thing here too, so he would open up a spot for one of these guys or for someone else to be protected from the Rule 5. Now that they've released them, they've created a roster spot in the 40. Watson also keeps hitters off balance with a slider. It flashes as a plus pitch that will need work to be more consistent. Watson was originally committed to the University of Virginia, but recently announced that he plans on attending the University of Florida. SEC program, right? SEC is a power conference in baseball. ML Pipeline's mock draft released the 4th of July has the Yankees taking Riley Quick, another righty pitcher, this time from the University of Alabama, college pitcher. Former Tide teammate Ben Hess, who was the Yankees' first-round pick last year, he turned 21 in April, was ranked 38th by MLB.com and 32nd by Baseball America. So these guys ranked higher than the prep pitchers. It's another big frame pitcher. He's 6'6", and he's 255 pounds. That's a big boy. He was a good enough of an offensive and defensive line prospect in high school to garner interest. He wanted to play high school college football too, high-level college football. So this guy's a big-time athlete. When you have a football frame guy who is a translated baseball player, that's pretty darn good. With that physical profile, it's no surprise that he has a plus fastball, tops out at 99, and sits in 96, 97 regularly during starts. He'll likely be refined in pro ranks as is a sinker that now generates a lot of ground balls. He can either double down on sinkers or develop it with his velocity to get more swing and miss. Scouts are mixed on what Quick's second best offering is, with some viewing his slider as a plus offering, while others see his changeup as the next best pitch. Both pitches consistently grade out well, giving him a starter's arsenal. Could you imagine if he has 3 out pitches, the changeup, right, and the slider and the fastball? That's what I'm talking about. The latest mock draft, Baseball Mock Draft 6.0, this article has the Yankees going with corner outfielder Brandon Compton from Arizona State University, right? Our first non-pitcher. The 21-year-old is ranked as the 41st best draft prospect by Baseball America and 47th by MLB.com. He excelled at the Cape Cod League over the summer with a 903 OPS, and that is traditionally something that many teams have looked for from their college hitters, OPS. So there you go. This is Brandon Compton. He's a lefty bat, too. I did look at some footage. This footage right here has him hitting the ball over the left center field wall. Pretty impressive. Okay. Ultra strong and physical, easy plus bat speed, and legitimate all fields impact, present barrel skills. Doesn't sell out to get his power in the game. Bullish on Compton, but I've got him at 55 hit and 65 power, 70 raw. That's a pretty high profile for an offensive bat. Okay. He was the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year in 2024, taking a redshirt year in 23 while recovering from Tommy John. The procedure ended his time on the mound, and he has exclusively been a hitter ever since. During the draft combine, he was routinely hitting fastballs over 112 miles per hour and produced an exit velocity of 116.9 during batting practice. So this guy's at Stanton type exit velocity, Judge type exit velocity. That's impressive from the lefty side. When's the last time you saw a lefty regularly hitting the balls to the opposite field? Juan Soto, right? Just a thought. It is easy to see how the Yankees could picture this lefty swing playing at Yankee Stadium. His 2025 stats did not measure up to his breakout 24 campaign, but is still demonstrating the strength and power needed to transition to a wood bat at the professional level. Okay, predicting who they'll pick toward 39 is quite challenging, as 20 other teams will get their shot, or 2 or 3 before the Yankees get to make their call. So, again, I'm going to leave this. I'm going to take this down. I'm going to attach this for you so you can read it for yourself. But this is what the Yankees are linked to right now, looking for at the draft. So, there's that. John Beagle, what's happening? So, and again, Jake Boss, what's good? And Jonathan also sent me something really cool earlier. There is I'll read this. I'll read this from my phone. The Yankees turned this catching prospect into a pitcher. This is from Jonathan, right? He's already touching 100 miles an hour. Antonio Gomez, eyes lit up. Sam Brianna's New York director of scout pitching half joked with the start with the catching prospect that had with an arm as strong as his. The team should try him out on the mound sometime. Otani, Gomez playfully replied, referring to Shohei Otani, the Los Angeles Dodgers two-way superstar. This is an interesting article. You always find out good stuff, man. Said, I don't think we can do that. Gomez may not get a chance to slug 54 homers in the majors like Otani did, but Yankees are giving him a chance to pitch. Less than a month into his transition, he's already hitting 100 miles an hour. That's it. When you have a big arm, you have a big arm, right? I think he could be really special, Brand said. I think the delivery looks like it works. Then that's from Matt Blake, Yankees pitching coach. Anytime you can see that type of velocity with the delivery that should be somewhat sustainable, it's interesting. So it looks like he has a fluid delivery and he's generating quite a bit of velocity with that delivery. So it makes him an interesting. I'm going to take this. I'm going to attach this article down below for you as well, so you can read it. Two interesting articles. Yankees made the switch official when they played Gomez, who was 23 on the developmental list in the Double-A Somerset on June 18th, and started throwing progression that has yielded some impressive bullpen sessions. Brand said to the Yankees, absolutely plan to Gomez for Gomez to pitch in the minor league games this season. So they already have plans for him to pitch in minor league pro games. It didn't take long for the right-hander to begin sitting between 94 and 96, regularly touching 97. In his fourth bullpen session, Gomez asked his host coaches if one time he could let it rip. The radar gun said 100 miles an hour. Hit 100. So even guys that throw 100 miles in games, you don't see them doing that very often in the bullpen, Brian said. The Yankees have also been impressed with Gomez's feel for pitching in the early stages. He says the team really didn't expect his command to be as good as it is. Of course, despite all the excitement, Gomez's progress comes with a caveat. It's not the pressure of getting out there and getting in games, but the kid fills it up. He's got a really simple, clean, easy delivery. It allows him to sequence and throw hard. We're not at the point where he can move the ball around two quadrants, but he's going to be at the halfway, in the hallway with plus velocity, which is a special trait. Matt Blake said he's got a really good arm, a really, really good athlete. I think what the guys are excited about is potential upside from a guy like that who's got some arm strength and has shown it behind the plate to have the aptitude back there and then try it out on the mound. So this is an interesting article. They clearly have high hopes for him. So I want to attach this down below, just like I'm going to attach the Yankees draft, most recent mock drafting connections here. So yeah, I mean that would be a huge plus, Jonathan. They do have an excess. They're really good at developing a robust pipeline of catching. And if you can move somebody to a different position and have him success, have the guy have success, pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. And man, keep in mind, the catcher throws the ball to the pitcher as much as the pitcher throws to the catcher. So he's getting regular reps with his arm already. Not as hard as the pitcher, obviously, but he's getting regular conditioning with the arms all day, all game. And he's doing it with multiple pitchers. Right? So if the pitcher only lasts 5 innings, he's still in there with the bullpen. So he's throwing 150, sometimes 200 throws. Keep that in mind, too. The catchers get regular arm conditioning here. So looks like they might have something here. Interesting. Something interesting. But I wanted to get that out to you, too. And for those that haven't heard, Carlos Rodon has made the All-Star team. He's going to be replacing Max Fried, who's pitching tomorrow. So at Yankee Stadium. They have gone for, they've gone through a lot of shortstops, but they're also going to be signing Juan Diasagen right now. They're projected to sign who's the number one international free agent, who's a 16-year-old shortstop. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't draft a shortstop in the early rounds here, right? Since they're signing another shortstop internationally. So corner, infielder, outfielder, and arm looks like it's going to be the way to go for the Yankees. Maybe for several rounds. So, yeah, Fried's pitching tomorrow. He's just pitching tomorrow. I'll be at that game, so I can't wait. I cannot wait. Very much looking forward to it. So, that's what we got right now. Wanted to keep it relative. Jacob Petruzzi, what's good, man? What is good? We're just going over, who the Yankees are linked to in the draft as of today. The draft is Sunday, the start of the draft, round one. So, yeah, exactly. Well, this is a great point too, Jake Boss. I got to put this up. Not too shabby having two All-Star starters not named Cole. That's a great comment. Fan freaking tastic, Jake Boss. Yeah. Oh, look at that. We got some more intel from Jonathan here. Elmer Rodriguez Cruz and Jay Savina promoted to Double A Somerset. Promotion. I love the Yankees are promoting players. This is great to see. Our best pitching trade chip, not including LaGrange. Our best pitching trade chip is, well, the most appealing is going to be Schlittler. But it really depends. Like, I'm not trading either one of those guys for 2 months of Eugenio Suarez. There's no way in the world. If you can get a Jose Ramirez, different story. But the chances of that are slim to none, right? So I think those are Schlittler and Lagrange are the two most appealing pitching prospects right now. I mean, in terms of upside, you got a lot of guys, Hess, Cunningham, and so on, but these guys are closer. Lane's got a big ceiling, but he's hurt. He hasn't pitched all year. So Henry Lane, he has zero trade value right now. None. He hasn't pitched. So would I give up an arm and a Joe Ryan? Yes, I would. If you can get Joe Ryan from the Twins, yeah, I would. Chase Hampton's also hurt. I mean, I'd offer Ben Hess. I mean, I would also. I'm not sure if I would give up Cam and a Joe Ryan package, but it might cost that. I mean, they might ask. I'd offer Ben Hess or I'd offer Will Warren. Correa, I'm a hard pass on Correa. He's not worth pursuing. No. Chase Hampton, I would offer for Joe Ryan, sure. But I would love to keep Cam Schlittler if we could. I really, really would. I like Cam's upside more than Will, but I like Will's product right here. If we kept Will, I would have no problem with that. I mean, as far as number 5 starters, he's going to be as good as it gets. He'll probably get 20, 25 starts on Will Warren this year, 10 wins. And if you can get that with some decent stats behind it for the number 5 starter, yeah, I'll take it. So I'm fine with Will Warren if we keep him. But if you want to upgrade, obviously, I would give him up because Joe Ryan's an upgrade over Will Warren. So Spencer Jones, I would only give up unless you're getting a pitcher with controllable years. And I would be hesitant to trade Spencer Jones to another American League team. Right? Let me see Joe Ryan's contract here. Let's see what he's got. Joe Ryan from the Twins. And he's linked to the Red Sox too. So he's got, okay, 2. He's not a free agent until 2028, so he's got the rest of this year and 2 more years beyond. So I would be hesitant to trade Spencer Jones to the Twins, but I guess it's worth considering. But if they're going to give a pitcher, I want to try to lead a package with the pitcher, if I could. But I don't know. Miles Mikolas, I would not trade Spencer Jones to Mikolas. No way. Let's pull up Miles Mikolas here. Miles Mikolas. He's also 36 years old, so he's 5-6 with a 4.94. There's no way I would give Spencer Jones for him. But let's look at Miles Mikolas' contract here. That has to be factored in. Yeah, he's a free agent at the end of the year, so. Man, I would rather trade for somebody like Merrill Kelly from the Diamondbacks over Mikolas if that's just me. So, yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, like if you somehow were able to get Jose Ramirez, I would offer Lombard instead of Jones if I could, and I would also offer Peraza too, right? And say, look, here's our stopgap guy right now, and then you can move Peraza over once Lombard's ready. You can move Lombard at the second if you have Peraza. Like I would do something like that. I would be hesitant to trade Spencer Jones right now, but I do know someone from the inside told me that his name is being discussed in a lot of discussions right now. Spencer Jones for a trade deadline. So would I trade Oswaldo? I mean, depending on what I can get back, but he doesn't have much trade value right now because he's hurt for the year. So I think we'd have to wait and see how well he plays. But he also has control for years. He's been just a great Yankee. So I would like to keep Guerrero if I could. I'd like to keep him if I could. So there's that. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, the trade deadline is going to be crazy, and the more days we go without deals, then the more crazy trade deadline week and trade deadline day is going to be. So Thursday, July 31st, I'll be live for most of the day that day to kind of go over it, go over what's going on, and so that's going to be pretty cool. A lot of fun. I always have a lot of guests on with me, and that's going to be fun. And again, like the tamer it is now, the crazier trade deadline day is going to be. We broke some good trades last year, some good stuff. That was fun. Everson Pereira is, to me, Fried was replaced because he's pitching tomorrow. He's pitching tomorrow. Pereira is tradable. I think Pereira is tradable. Depends on what you get, right? I mean, I wonder what you'd have to pay for Suarez and Merrill Kelly from the Diamondbacks. What would you have to give for them? Pereira, I'd have no problem offering. I would give Roderick Arias too. It's blocked by Lombard anyway. Yep. Vivas could be trade bait or it could be a stopgap. The Yankees signed Jeimer Candelario this past week too, so they have depth, and I think they want to have that depth in case a Suarez trade doesn't happen. Suarez obviously is the guy. He's the only guy that moves the needle with his bat, but doesn't really do it with his glove as much. But his bat in this lineup would make it just a deadly lineup 1 through 6, and it would lengthen it too, so that the 7, 8, 9 would all of a sudden get better. So, but I would agree. The Diamondbacks want a bunch of young players. And I'd be willing to do that. I mean, good thing the Diamondbacks have an abundance of outfielders. So they do have an abundance of outfielders. Yeah, Arias. I mean, yeah, I see Arias being traded too. I could see him being part of a trade to the Diamondbacks for these guys. I really could. Hit the likes, gang. We got 14 likes. Let's try to get them up. Thank you so much. And I won't keep you very long. I got to get back to work myself, but I wanted to just get the pulse of the room and see what your thoughts were on the Yankees draft. You know, what do you think? Where do you think they should go? Like I said before, if they draft pitchers, then they're probably more than willing to trade some pitchers. They draft bats, they're more than willing to trade some bats. But I do think in order for the Yankees to have a really complete deadline, they're going to need to move some places, some valuable pieces, some arms and bats. Yep. They can have a pretty significant deadline if they're willing to move some pieces. And that's going to be the key. That's the $1 million question. And we don't know. And we also don't know who's available right now either. So as easy as it is to blame Brian Cashman for nothing happening yet, none of the trades are being made anyway. The Rays made a minor trade yesterday with the Orioles for a relief pitcher, and that relief pitcher will probably be good for the Rays. But aside from that, no trades are happening. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I think with Suarez being a rental and either Gallen or Kelly being a rental, there's only so much they can ask for. But they will ask for the moon, obviously, and Cash will offer them the clouds, and then they'll have to meet somewhere in between, right? I did see that. I thought the moon was tipping pitches, yeah, and Yankees capitalized on it. The Yankees have tipped pitches before, and other bats have capitalized on that too. So, but yeah, and it's crazy. He's got like a 110 ERA, and he's got 6 blown saves. It's kind of an oxymoron, right? How does somebody with 6 blown saves have a 110 ERA? He's just a B, and he's a free agent at the end of the year too. As is Kyle Finnegan, as is Ryan Helsley, as is Devin Williams, as is Luke Weaver. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see what relievers the Yankees bring in. Hopefully, a couple with controllable years. Best available player. Yeah, I mean, Jake Boss. At the end of the day, I think they will do that. I do. And 39 is, it's not the same thing as picking 9th. But there's still some good players in the rounds after the first round. So, no, exactly. They don't need to add here. They need relief pitchers that could just situationally get guys out. They can come in, put the ball in play, hit the zone, pound the zone, and not walk a ton of guys. The Yankees have had too many walks from too many relievers when they come in, which just sets the next guy up at a disadvantage already, especially when you have to face a minimum of 3 batters for every reliever. You walk 2 of them, and that sucks for the next reliever. What up, Dev? Devastator. So that's what we got right now, gang. Really, that's what we have. So the draft Sunday, the Yankees are converting a catching prospect into a pitcher right now. Pretty darn cool. Check out the articles I'm going to attach down below so you can read about them yourselves and let me know what you think. Right? So, and should it be a corner infielder, corner outfielder, pitcher? I mean, my guess is it's going to be pitcher. I'm guessing, but yeah, another corner infielder. I don't know. It's really not. Doesn't make any sense to draft another one right now. Yeah, I mean, and I'll feed you in on who the Yankees draft. If it's not too late Sunday night, maybe I'll go live to see when we can put in the reporting on who the Yankees pick, and then we can kind of profile the player. No, and my guess it will be the best player. So, but who that it's going to be, I don't know. We just don't know. But there are some gems that are drafted outside the first round, always, every single year. Gems. So, we'll be back later for the lineup. Get the Cubs tonight. Carlos Rodon's on the mound. Who's he pitching against? Let's see. Who's Rodon pitching against tonight? Scores. 7:05 p.m. He's pitching against Chris Flexen. That's right, Chris Flexen. Who's 5-0 with a .83 ERA. Pitching well. He's pitching well. Scuba was the 9th round. Mike Piazza was like the 20th round. Tom Brady was like one of the last picks in the NFL draft a bunch of years ago. One of the last. And you never know. Even Aaron Judge was a compensatory pick after the first round. And the reason why they gave him the pick him because Nick Swisher rejected a qualifying offer and signed with the Cleveland Indians, right? And the Yankees got an extra draft pick in between the first and second round. That turned into Aaron Judge. So pretty darn cool. Scooble, man. Damn. Tarek Scooble. Beast. Brady was the 7th round, the final round in the NFL draft. Yep. He wasn't even a starting quarterback at the University of Michigan. But he wound up being the greatest quarterback of all time. Developed by one of the best coaches of all time, Bill Belichick. So there's that too. He's found the right environment, the right coaching, the right players around him. And he's just, he's got that it factor, Tom Brady, who's now dating Sofia Vergara from Modern Family. Lucky bastard. Yeah. But that's what we got. Let me let you go, everybody. Okay, we'll be back with the lineup later. And if then even news comes out, I promise you, you'll get it here. You're the best. Hit the like button on the way out. Anybody in here that's not subscribed to the channel, please hit the sub button. And just turn on your notifications if you haven't done that yet. That way you'll never miss anything. Have a great day, gang. Peace and love to all these. And remember, look down below. Just give me a few minutes. I'm going to attach both articles down below. Spencer Jones. Bring me Spencer Jones, Jonathan. Bring me Jones.